Hello and welcome to episode number 59 of the Knitting Teaspoon podcast. I'm Liesbeth, your host, and this is a podcast which is all about knitting, sewing, spinning, and basically also fiber crafts that I feel like, although those three are my usual favorites, and those are exactly what I've been doing and a little bit more, and I will get into that. If you've been following me on Instagram, you may know what I've been up to this week. So thank you so much for joining me. It really means a lot that you take some time out of your day and spend it with me. Also, thank you for your comments on last week's episode. Thank you for helping me to the word saucer. I hope I pronounced that right. I was looking for the word for a tiny plate that goes along with the cup, and apparently it's a saucer. So thank you. If you ever feel like I say strange things in English, I am Dutch. I live in Eindhoven, which is in the south of the Netherlands. Yeah, and if I say strange things in English, it's because I'm not a native speaker and I want to learn how to speak English fluently, and I feel like I'm not doing a particularly bad job, but if there's any way that you can help me by providing me with words for things that I just say wrong, please help me out here. Anyway, so I won't be offended, I guess. So yeah, just try me. Anyway, so let's get into what I've been doing, but first let me mention what I'm wearing. And today I am wearing my rosa dress, and this is a sewing pattern by Tilly and the Buttons. I happen to know where this fabric comes from. It's from Poppy Europe Designs, so that's the place where the person who designs this type of fabric, and it has all the tiny white wheels on it. I don't know to what extent you will be able to see it, but it's a dress, and I do think I've inserted a picture of its length. It's about knee length, but I think I still have a picture, so I should insert it here so that you can see that it's actually a dress. My hair has changed since then because I had dyed my hair blonde some time ago, and now it's back to my natural color. So I am in love with this dress, and the weather is definitely like wearing lightweight cotton dresses or skirts or shirts and everything, and not really great for wearing knitwear anymore. It's been 30 degrees Celsius, which I believe is around 90 degrees Fahrenheit, not really sure, 86 maybe. I don't know, but it's been hot in the Netherlands and stormy, and I do love a good thunderstorm. That is, while I am safe inside my house and can watch the storm go on outside, but I do love watching lightning. So I've had a good week because there have been 2 bad storms this week, and there's going to be another one this evening. It's Friday here, the 7th of June. Had to look at the date. My computer screen's there. So in that sense, I had a really good week. I do think though that I'm a little bit in a knitting slump. I just haven't really felt like knitting a lot, but I have been knitting some bits, and I've been working on my Nain Socks, and the first sock looks like it's finished. It's not, and I will tell you why in a minute. And I consider socks finished if I have the ends not woven in. That's not what's bothering me. But I knit this sock according to the pattern, and then I started the toe at the instructed length, and it just became too short. I don't like the fit of it. I can get my feet in it, but I just don't like it, so I will need to unpick it from until here, just knit a few new rows, and re-knit the toe. And it's not particularly difficult, although there is a kind of twisted knit decrease to it, but nothing really difficult actually, so it shouldn't be a problem. Just a bit more work. So last week I was here with a teacup that I've put in as a progress keeper, and so I've only knit a tiny bit on this one. I have already started the second sock, and I did fit the first sock before I started the second one, and I knew that I was going to have to re-knit it, but I thought Let's just try on the second sock how long I need to go, because then maybe I won't have to go back and try it, and I don't know. For some reason this made sense in my head. Just try first to see what I like best, and then start re-knitting the toe on the first sock, but I'm not really sure if that's really all there is to it. Anyway, so yay, this is the Nain sock. It's a pattern by Hunter Hammerson, and it's from the Silk Road Socks book, which I purchased in April. And yeah, the pattern in the beginning I really needed to focus on the pattern, but it's a 32 row repeat, and I think also 32 stitches wide or something like that. So it took a while to get into the pattern, but once you're into it, you can really see that it gets quite intuitive. So I don't need the pattern with me anymore, although I will probably look at it again for the instructions for the heel, because I don't typically knit a heel flap and gusset type heel. Although I think the heel will turn out fine on the first sock, so it should be fine. Anyway, that's it for my Nain socks. Did I mention that I dyed this yarn myself? I don't know, but I did around Christmas time, I think. I'm not really sure when I did. Anyway, so there's been one more knitting project that I've made a very tiny bit of progress on, and it is the pullover that I've been knitting for my boyfriend, because I felt like, oh, I'm a bit in a knitting slump. What would make me happy? Something simple, maybe a garment for myself. And I know that garments are not necessarily easy, but they typically involve large portions of knitting something simple for me. So I was kind of craving that. So I've been working on the side panel, the second side panel for my boyfriend's pullover that I am kind of designing as I go. So yeah, I wasn't at 100 garter ridges before. I think I was somewhere where I poked a needle in, not exactly sure where I was, and I need to go to 130, so 30 more from this green marker, and there's 50 in between the green and, I think this is an orange marker? Yes, it's an orange marker. Can't really see it from the backside. Anyway, so yeah, so this much length that would be 50, so yeah, I need to go to about here or something. I don't know, but it will be fine. And it's going to be a lovely sweater that my boyfriend won't need because, you know, the weather. Anyway, it's fine. Making things for my boyfriend, yeah. He also still hasn't worn his new pair of pants yet. He was offering to put it on last week to make a quick photo shoot, but I was about to hit the export video file button at that moment, and I felt like, no, we will do that before next week, but it didn't happen, so I will have to do that still sometime. Let's get into the next project that I've been working on, and the next project is a spinning project. I have been working on my yak fiber, and I have completed spinning it. So here is my 2 bobbins full of 2-ply yak fiber, and all of this was until the first bit ran out, so the first single ran out. I always try to separate the yarn evenly to make sure that the singles are approximately the same length. So I redivided the yarn on another bobbin and plied the leftover bit on this bobbin, and then I was within a yard or within a meter that the singles were the same length, so that was very nice, and it was just based on guessing, so that was a good guess, I guess. Haha. Anyway, so yeah, I have not washed this yet or reskein it or anything, but I'm quite happy with how plump and soft it is, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a hat because I don't know what else to make with only 100 grams of yarn, and it's yak, and it's definitely not going to be socks because I would wear through it in no time. And as much as I feel like I don't mind things getting worn out, I do mind if they get worn out if I know that it's just not a proper fiber type and it happens very, very fast. I think that's it for spinning. I have also been doing a little bit of sewing, and it's maybe a bit boring to look at because last week I had made this project bag more or less completed. Well, now it's entirely completed. I would have given this to my friend yesterday evening, but she wasn't there. I believe there was something with her camper, her holiday van. I don't know what you call this type of vehicle. The kind of camper that can't drive by itself, but has to hang behind a car to be moved around. Anyway, so yeah, I completed the bag for her. It's now the lining is closed, so and lavender sachet is added to it, and I've closed the lining at the bottom, so it's all ready to go. But my friend wasn't there yesterday, so she hasn't received it yet. Here's a little lavender sachet that goes with it, because when I'm making project bags, I typically have a lot of tiny scraps, so this is a bit of a weird shape maybe for a lavender sachet, but I don't really care. I think this way is much more useful, and it smells nice like, like lavender, than when I just throw it away. And I know that I could maybe start quilting or anything like that, but I'm not sure if I can do that. I don't know what's going on outside, but there's some heavy machinery going around. I hope you can't hear it. If you can, then I apologize. I'm sorry. It's sometimes difficult to predict when you can podcast or not. Especially this week, there's been a lot of heavy machinery going around because a lot of trees got uprooted with the storms we've had this week, and there have been big branches falling off trees like everywhere in my town and in most of the Netherlands actually. So yeah, it's been a bit of a mess, and there's been a lot of machinery trying to pull away trees from roads and from gardens and vehicles and everything that got destroyed in it. Nothing severe in my sphere, at least. But still, there's a lot of damage. Anyway, so there's been one more thing that I've been doing this week, and it is trying again to make self-striping yarn. So last week I went about to wind off a skein to make it a very long skein, because you kind of need that for dyeing a self-striping, or it would get very tedious, I think. But yeah, so I did, and here is the result, and I'm really thrilled with what this looks like. I didn't make any particular effort to make special colors, so I dye all my yarn, except if I'm dyeing with natural materials. But if I dye with acid dyes, and this was done with acid dyes, I dye with 3 colors and black, so I have yellow, magenta and cyan dyes, and I typically make a mixture of those colors and then dye with that mixture. But in this case I just used the magenta for the pink, and then I put in some black for the gray stripe, although I think there was still some leftover pink or magenta in the dye bath at that point, because the gray stripe is a tiny bit purplish, and yeah, and then I added more black for the black stripe. So yeah, and I tried to reskein this, but it got a horrible mess. It was one big knot, and it wouldn't work to try and wind it on my skein winder, so instead I wrapped it into a ball, and I kind of like the look of this. I mean, it's a bit of fun. It wasn't that much fun to untangle the skein because it got into a huge knot, but now that it's untangled, I love it, and I can't wait to knit myself a pair of socks out of this yarn, because I love it. I'm really happy with the results of it. I've been dyeing some more, but that's still outside on the clothesline drying. So yeah, we'll have to take it inside, I guess, before this evening, because I don't want it to storm away tonight. But yeah, it's been fun to try self-striping yarn, and it's a lot of fun. But I think I need some better material to do the yarn winding in the future. So I've been looking at some equipment to make longer skeins, and I think I know what I want, and I think that I could buy it or maybe make it myself, and I'm not really sure what to do with that. But yeah, I definitely want to dye some more self-striping in the future because it's just a lot of fun. So that's it, I guess. I don't think I have anything else to share with you. So yeah, I hope you all have a lovely week. If you celebrate Pentecost, and have a lovely Pentecost weekend. If you don't, then I hope you will enjoy Worldwide Knitting in Public Day, which for me is still one day in the future because it's tomorrow on the 8th of June. But it may already be somewhere past that 8th of June by the time that you get to watch it. If you're ahead of time, then this podcast won't go live until it's maybe the 9th of June for you. And who knows, you may not have time to watch podcasts in the weekend, I don't know. So yeah, anyway, so I hope you all have a lovely week, and I hope to see you again next week. And have a lovely week. Bye!